Understanding distance measurement is a fundamental aspect of navigation. In this lesson, we will look at distance definitions and conversion between imperial and metric systems that are used to measure distance. Meters are the basic metric units of distance and are used with standard magnitude prefixes. For example, millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, or kilometer. A meter is defined as the distance that light will travel in 1/300 millionth of a second. For navigation, we are mainly interested in the kilometre, so we will start by looking at how we can define the kilometre. A kilometre is 1,000 metres, but the speed of light definition is not very useful for navigation purposes. So let's look at a more practical definition. A kilometre is 1/10,000th of the distance from the equator to the pole. In other words, the distance from the equator to a pole is 10,000 kilometres. The circumference of the Earth is therefore 40,000 kilometres. The nautical mile is commonly used in navigation and is associated with the graticule used for position reference. A nautical mile equates to 1 minute of latitude, so that a whole degree of latitude has an equivalent distance of 60 nautical miles. It is very important to use 1 minute of latitude as the definition, and not to use 1 minute of longitude. A nautical mile will only equal 1 minute of longitude around the equator, as the angular distance of longitude decreases when the latitude increases as we move towards the pole. We know that from the equator to the pole there are 90 degrees of latitude. There are 60 minutes in a degree, so there are a total of 5,400 minutes of latitude from the equator to the pole. The distance from the equator to the pole is therefore 5,400 nautical miles. It follows, therefore, that there must be 4 times 5,400, or 21,600 nautical miles, around the circumference of the Earth. We also know that the Earth's circumference is 40,000 kilometres. To convert from kilometres to nautical miles, we can say that 21,600 nautical miles equates to 40,000 kilometres. Therefore, 1 nautical mile is 1.85 kilometres. The ICAO definition of a nautical mile is 1,852 metres. Another unit of distance measurement sometimes used is the statute mile. The statute mile is less commonly used than the nautical mile in aviation, although it is used in some areas. For example, visibility reporting in the USA. The term mile has its origins in Latin, mils passus, literally 1,000 paces. Each pace was 5 times the length of a man's foot. The aim of the statute mile was to standardize the mile, regardless of foot size or length of pace. With such variation in the measurement of the mile, Queen Elizabeth I of England made a decree that a mile was to be 5,280 feet, where the term foot was a known distance. As this was declared by law, it became known as the statute mile. The statute mile is used in many countries, including the UK and USA, as the standard for measuring distances on the ground, for example, on road traffic signs. An understanding of how to convert from one unit of distance measurement to another is important for solving some navigation problems. We have defined a kilometre as 1/10,000th of the distance from the equator to the pole, and that a nautical mile is equivalent to 1 minute of latitude, and that a statute mile is 5,280 feet. We have proved that 1 nautical mile is approximately equivalent to 1.85 kilometres. 1 nautical mile is also the equivalent of 1.15 statute miles, These conversion factors for the nautical mile are important and should be memorized.